People have no idea why one sweep versus another.
Totally.
Essentially, all the experts say sweep is about personal preference.
Well, it's only personal preference if what they mean is a person would prefer not to have
Shoulder surgery or wrist surgery,
You're
right?
making me sad, sir.
Hey Joyriders, welcome back to the channel. I'm again joined by Lee from Lee Likes Bikes.
It's good to be back, man.
Yeah, we're in my kitchen. This is like a cooking show about cooking up just the perfect fit for you and your bike.
Handlebar sweep is the unsung ingredient of a delicious bicycle treat.
Lee and I are on opposite ends of the sweep spectrum.
Yep.
As far apart as you can get. In your case,
When the bars got wider, I was all, yeah, I'm more manly. Yeah.
they had less sweep too.
Yeah, because it's more like that elbow out.
Yeah,
Elbow out,
Yeah,
elbow out,
yeah,
elbow out.
Yeah, and eventually you had a lot of shoulder issues, you almost gave up biking. That's not personal preference, that's ergonomics. Ergonomics is a science, how things fit people.
Yep.
If you were a pro rider, you and your mechanic would try all different bars, all different sweeps.
If the bar you needed wasn't made by the company you work for, there's a good chance they'd either make something special for you, or as we used to do with tires and frames, you would run someone else's bar
And just change the
brand
stickers.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's quickly cover the aspects of the handlebar. First is width. Handlebars come in widths up to about 800 millimeter. What is your optimal width? We cover width in another video.
I'm gonna put it right here, right now. That's our width video.
Then there's rise.
The rise is the
Measure from the center of the clamped area of the bar to the center of the grip.
And we're not gonna get into rise. We're gonna talk about sweep, and there's two kinds of sweep. There's the up sweep,
Almost all mountain bike handlebars will have a number between 4 and 5 degrees.
and then there's the back sweep.
Back sweep is just exactly what it sounds like. Back sweep may be one of the most important and overlooked aspects of bike fit. Lee and I are complete opposites when it comes to handlebar sweep.
Ow, ow, okay, I'm done.
I run generally a Renthal bar. This bar is a 7 back sweep. It is a 5-degree up sweep. I run a few other bars. I don't sweat it too much, but everything I've got is 8 or 7 degrees.
You're like all in that zone.
I have way more of these than I have anything else.
And I have a bunch left too. I ran that bar forever.
And this bar, which works great for me, injured you.
Yeah, that hurt me. And I was young and I was trying to win for every wrong reason there was. And I just thought the pain meant I was weak and I had to work harder.
And if you right now try to do this, it's not unusual for mountain bikers to get jacked up shoulders.
Yeah.
My ergonomics, the shape of my wrist bones and the way my hands are attached to my forearms, these work. Did not work for you.
Yeah, I really deteriorated myself.
Yeah.
Big time. And I'm glad I found a setup that works.
Let's see what you're running.
So I run SQ Lab. This is the 30X bar. I also run an FLX. And the commonality is that they have 16 degrees of back sweep. So on paper, they have like 4 of up and 16 of back. So I'm gonna show it to you. This is, you're seeing the back sweep going upward right now.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
a lot of back
and we
sweep.
can kind of
And we can
see
compare.
as a comparison.
There's a lot more back sweep.
I have to admit, when I get on your bike with this much back sweep, I hate it. It feels terrible.
Yeah, you hate my bikes. And when I get on your bikes, I can appreciate that they're wonderful, but they hurt almost immediately.
Right. This company, SQ Labs,
They're rad.
brilliant company. I don't think this is a handlebar company. I think this is an ergonomics company.
Totally.
These guys make this bar. They also have a rider that rides for them, Fabio Wimner.
Yeah. When I saw them pick him up, I thought that was a coup for them.
And you're excited because you're like, okay, now he's gonna be on bars like me.
I was actually, I think I even messaged you and said, ha! See, he likes these bars too. But then he has a signature bar.
His signature bar is this.
that.
But I'm sure that they worked with him. It's not an
Yeah.
accident. It's not that they compromised on who they are. This is what works for him. Bad ways to select a bar sweep. What some pro is running.
Yes.
What the best rider in your crew is running. Some internet forum. What they're suggesting. Those forums are great for tires. Like, definitely pick your tires that way.
Yeah, because if you're like, hey, I'm going to Washington State, what tire do you guys all run? They're like, oh, DHF, cool. And by the way, don't figure out by riding the wrong bar for 20 years and needing shoulder replacement surgery. Any pain in any joint in your body is never okay, Never push through pain in a joint, ever. That's a dangerous sign.
Really good advice.
Fix something.
So how do you figure out sweep?
Yeah, we're about to show you a cool way.
All right, it's really gonna be like a cooking show now because I think we're gonna shoot from overhead
Yeah.
and we'll show how you can figure out what your sweep should be. What are we calling this? The world's least deadly nunchucks, or the sweepometer.
You can make the same thing with just some pencils and tape.
I marked it with different widths. This is 760,
50,
750, 740. So what you wanna do is,
Just hold it the way you hold your bar.
right, like this, wrap it in your hand just naturally, and then bring it out.
Your upper arm should extend from your body at about 20 degrees, and your hand should extend straight from your elbow. Relax your wrists into a neutral position. Now have a friend mark the angle of your pencil or dowel.
Now we'll take a look at Lee. He'll do the same thing and we'll see where he winds up.
All right, closing eyes.
Okay, open. You want to open? I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm gonna make a little mark here and a mark there. Okay, so this guy right here will tell us the angle. I could run a 5-degree back sweep. Wow. And it would probably be okay. I really dig being able to put some science to some of these things that have been left up to fashion and personal preference. I'm running 7 degrees, that's not 7 degrees, and you're running 16 degrees, right?
That's it, dude.
If all you've got is a pencil, grab a pencil, get in that writing position that feels natural, and have your writing buddy just make a couple marks.
Or, even more simply, look at my arm versus Lee's arm. Is your grip more like mine or more like Lee's? Or maybe somewhere in between. I run a 7 and Lee runs 16. Since we are complete and opposite extremes, you can use us to find your happy place.
Okay, so I made a little list, I'm gonna go through it right now, of different bars. Renthal, fat bar, 7-degree back, 5-degree up. 1-up makes an 8-degree back sweep and 5-degree up. Chromag is an 8-degree, 5-degree up. Deity is a 9-degree back sweep and a 5-degree up. A little much for me. That's another thing to mention though, is like 1 degree of back sweep, you might feel a difference. 2 degrees, there really is a difference. PNW makes a 10-degree back sweep bar.
And by the way, that's a signature bar by an athlete. And I remember when they came out, he said, yeah, I like extra back sweep because it feels better.
SQ Labs, 12 or 16 back, 4 up. Well, also Fabio's, which is a 7 back.
I'll add some links in the description to make it a little bit easier.
We're gonna touch on upsweep. I'm not a huge fan of upsweep.
Right.
Upsweep will push your elbows up.
The amount of back sweep is determined a lot by your anatomy.
Yeah.
You can see our differences. Upsweep has a lot to do with where your elbows are in relation to the bar. So like if you ride like classic, old school elbows out style, right?
You might like a little upsweep.
You're gonna want some upsweep.
It forces your elbows up.
Actually too much upsweep will force your elbows up.
You can see it right
which
now.
is not necessarily a good idea.
I use 0 upsweep. I take all my bars and I rotate them until this is flat.
Yeah, buddy, right.
And that brings my elbows down.
The 4 up, 7 back on that bar is just at a theoretical neutral install angle. You can roll it back to no up at all.
Yeah.
2 degrees of up, whatever works for you.
If I get on a bike and it's installed with upsweep, it just feels weird. I can feel it actually starting to hurt right there.
I can see the strain on you.
Yeah, it starts to spasm almost.
Yeah.
That's upsweep.
And that's like, I want to say it again, it's so important. If you're out riding and you feel like twinges in your wrists, shoulders, something's wrong.
Not right.
And the fix might be this: loosen, loosen, loosen. That might be the fix. It's that easy.
It could be that simple.
Give it a try.
Yep.
And you know what? Like maybe there are people out there who love to ride with their elbows out. It feels good to them.
You could have a totally different shoulder anatomy, but that's not personal preference.
That's
right?
ergonomics. Dude.
That's ergonomics.
Yeah. Right. Personal preference is like I like yellow pencils. Can I pick a handlebar sweep and be a jerk about it?
You actually can. I'll tell you one thing that's changed. Lee used to try to convince me that I would be more comfortable and I'd feel better and I'd ride better if I had more sweep.
That's very true, but I'm off that horse now. Just hit me, like me insisting that you ride a 16-degree bar because
You were all about it. You were all about it.
It's like me going, dude, size 10 shoes are so good. You really need a size 10 shoe.
No one who runs fast is going 9 anymore.
Usain Bolt.
He's the fastest man on earth, right?
What size
What
shoe
size
does he
shoe
wear?
does he wear?
It makes so much sense. He's a 13 and a half. Ergo, I'm about to get really fast.
There's human ergonomics that work in general. It's like you gotta make a car work for 99.9% of the population.
For sure.
But a race car, you make work for one person.
One human being.
Right.
And actually that's very true. And so my bicycle is set up in a very unique way for me.
Unless you're sharing your bike with somebody else on a daily basis, get it dialed for you.
For real.
And sweep is one of the most important ways to get your bike dialed for maximum shred, maximum joy.
Yeah, easy, cheap too.
Super, yeah, cheap too. If you like this video, hit the like button. Share it with your friends because it matters. I think people need to see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time on Enjoy a Bike.
Take care, guys.